You've seen stories of daring do and brave swashbuckling here at SaintRiot.com. But I am the Dungeon Master, and I'm here to tell you a different story. The story of a man in a jail. A dungeon jail. And he had to escape from the terrible warden of the jail. He was imprisoned, falsely accused, and also convicted falsely. He didn't do it. His name was on that flight log. Ramza Beolve. Sure. But not because he was going to the little island. He simply was catching a ride. Also, the Mossad set him up. That's what happened. So they threw him in jail with all the lumpy meat people. And the guards were fat and hideous and wore buckets over their heads. Buckets, what do you call them? Bedpans. That's a bedpan. And it was used by an old woman who's the real pervert. Now we know it was the guards. Look at this guy. He's a corporal. That's why he's gold. And the warden was in the back there, shooting moons off. But our prisoner had lasers of his own, and he deserved his freedom because of how falsely accused he was. And you could tell that the corporal of the prison, he was waggling his hammer, like, check this out. I am actually good at I'm gonna bring the hammer down, and I'm good at it. But he wasn't good enough at all. And so he came at our honest prisoner, and he said, I'm going to catch flame and use my hammer one-handed. But he was an idiot, and he died, as idiots often do. Idiots often die, you'll find. All the time they're dying. They can't help themselves. And our hero, our beloved, innocent hero, falsely accused, he was making a slick getaway. But then he thought to himself. He said, now wait a minute. They'll just lock up other innocent people who were set up by the Mossad. And they'll send them here to Ever Prison. And it's cold. It's cold in the Ever Prison. And they keep all these pots around. And they put people in there with the lumpy meat people. And the lumpy meat people, they become lumpy meat people. Harsh conditions in the cold. And they keep them all in a jar together to make more lumpy meat people. Anyway, the point is, all of these guys in blue showed up. The boys in blue were back in town. And they do it for free. They don't even get paid. They just love the taste of boots so much. And they've sworn an allegiance to the warden and to the Mossad whom he serves. And then they were shooting off lasers at each other for a while. And this went on. And the warden had to go. That's what it came down to, folks. Was the warden. He had to go so that no one else would be falsely imprisoned and labeled a heretic. And so he was blasting him, and he almost got him. I want you to watch how pitiful these boys in blue are. Look at the stinky, disgusting, gross, negligent, absolutely just unlovable in every way, shape, and form. No one could ever appreciate these people. They're the worst. They just show up and they say, oh, I'll help. I'll help you. You need help. And then they wear the poise armor. And they use a hyper armor weapon. For some guy who doesn't even come help them. And that's what they get, honestly. They deserve to die. They deserve it. If they're willing to help some idiot like this, but they just keep coming. They just keep coming. And they're showing no signs of stopping. But they can get blasted out of the air with powerful lasers and magics. And then our innocent hero, falsely imprisoned, must clear his name and his family name. And so that's what he did. Once again, the cowardly warden. Why would you protect a real piece of shit like this? You might ask yourself. I don't know. Why indeed do they? There's plenty of evidence. We've all seen the footage. They repeatedly just send you to die for them. And you're willing to do it. You're willing to do it. Probably because your daddy never took you outside and threw the ball. That's why. You miss your daddy? I'm your daddy now. I'm your daddy, you dumb warden bitch. That's right, it was me. All along. Now who's trapped? Now who's imprisoned? It's you. Imprisoned. Trapped. Like a rat. That you are. Rat. In a mousetrap. Mousetrap by Parker Brothers. Thanks. Okay, I'm done. I can't keep that up for more than 7 minutes. You're out of your mind. If you expect me to keep doing that. So all of this footage was recorded right after the last patch for Elden Ring dropped. Not the one that did the bug fixes. The one before that. The one where they sped up the heavy attacks on a lot of weapons. All this footage was recorded right after that. This is my faith build, obviously. It's a lot of fun. I love this build. It's based off Ramza from Final Fantasy Tactics. He's a cool guy. And, yeah, bunch of, just silly, goofy invasions. This guy. This poor guy. Just the last guy to climb the ladder, so of course he gets absolutely murdered. And none of his homies are there to help him. And then the other Phantom is, there's a chance that this might not go the way they want it to. And so what does the other Phantom do? They leave. They leave this host to die. Which is honestly kind of funny. Because we see hosts do it to Phantoms all the time. So it's funny to see it happen the other way around. I don't understand people that play this game in any way, shape, or form. Unless you play this game exactly like I do, I have no idea what goes through people's heads. It's the most, it just doesn't make sense. A lot of the times, it just doesn't make sense. Phantoms just leaving hosts to die. Hosts just leaving blues to die. Rage quitting invaders. Like disconnecting invaders. I don't know. I don't. It's because people will say, oh, Elden Ring, casual, something. But it's just because there's more players. And because there's more players, there's more behavior to see, to witness. Right? But what I'm saying is I don't understand the logic behind a lot of the decisions that people make when it comes to playing the game. And I'm not saying like, oh, everyone should play the game like me. I'm just saying that unless you do play the game like me, I just legitimately, I can't wrap my head around why you make the decisions you make, right? And that's fine. I don't have to understand everything. I'm not God, so it is what it is. Like, I'm fine with it if you're fine with it. But, it is confusing. A lot of the times I try not to think about it. Hey, here's something you can think about. So they buffed the speed of heavy attacks, and you might be saying, hey, how much did they buff the speed by? And I will show you. I have a really good connection to this Phantom. Watch this. Heavy attack. Now watch. Step, step, heavy attack. Before his R1 can hit me, out of hit stun, I can throw out another heavy attack. And not even, like, chain the heavy attacks together. Like, I can take a step and, like, actually look and see what he's doing. That's how fast the heavy attacks are. But, you know, keep in mind that you need to have a good internet connection with your opponent to have that type of, you know, interaction, right? That's not something that's going to happen across the ocean, probably. But, yeah, there you go. It's a video. He escaped from jail. He's innocent, Dungeon Master. He's innocent! Framed by the Mossad! Yeah, that's probably it. Okay, later, y'all.